Welcome to this edition of the Cloud Sharadi Show. My name is Cloud Sharadi, and as you know, in this show, we talk about business, we talk about entrepreneurship, leadership, and social mobility, all these issues that help us as a community of people of African descent to prosper and progress in the Australian culture, in the Australian context and beyond. And today I have a special guest with me. You'll find out about that guest in just a moment, straight after this. Great. My special guest today is joining us all the way from Sydney, and her name is Dr. Valerie Johnston-Dugamin. How are you, Dr. Valerie?
I'm very well, thank you, Clyde.
All
Yes,
right.
thank
How's things, in
you.
Sydney? How's the day going? All that sort of thing.
Pretty good. The day is going smoothly, so already a busy morning, but yeah, amazing, sunny
All
and
right. They
nice.
say busy is good. As long as it
Ex-
doesn't kill you, it's good.
exactly, exactly.
That's good. All right. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. We know you run a business. There's a bit of a story about you as you came to Australia, and
Yes.
give us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I came to Australia a decade ago, and I come originally from the French-speaking Caribbean, Guadeloupe, and then I grew up in Paris, and then I decided to come to Australia to learn English and become an osteopath because I wanted to help people that really stress and tension in the body in a gentle way. So that's what I did. And I've been here. I did my study here. And I opened my business about 10 years ago. And I'm loving it. And yes.
All right. Well, that's a great story. So yeah, I could tell there's the French accent there, and the French, and you got to Australia. You French people in Australia, you actually get something very good because everybody loves French. Everybody loves French people, and everywhere you go, you got some special advantage, don't you?
The accent, absolutely the accent.
And perhaps more than the accent, when you speak in French, oh, I love this language. I like it when I speak French because I speak French as well to people. Say, oh, this is just so great. And it gives you a bit of an edge
Mhm.
when you're talking to
Je ne sais
people.
quoi. Je ne sais quoi.
That's great. So, what led you to start your own business as opposed to maybe joining a health service clinic somewhere?
Yes, so that's from a while ago when I was maybe 16. I was doing some summer job, and then I realized that, oh my God, I'm doing so much hard work and I don't get paid that much. And I said, okay, well, the people on the top they're earning more, so I'm going to work hard and get have my own practice, my own business. So that's how it started, and from then I just had that goal and I didn't back from it.
All right. Was it easy though for you? Walk us through the planning and then the starting and then some of the
Yes.
issues you
So
had.
yeah, so what I had to do, of course, I had to find what I wanted to do. Once I did find that I was passionate about osteopathy, I did the study. And then after the study, I didn't want to open my practice straight away. I actually work in a multidisciplinary group where there are osteopath, chiropractor, and other practitioners.
Yeah.
And then after 3 years, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking I'm ready to open my practice because I learned what not to do when you have a business. So that was great. So yeah.
Okay. So, and was it easy to start? How long did it take before start getting customers flowing in? Did it happen straight away, or it took a while?
It took, I mean, I had about 10 clients that followed me at the time. And
Hmm.
from then because they really like what I was doing and they got really good results. So it was mostly word of mouth. So they were
Hmm.
referring people, and then uh, gradually and quite quickly I grow to have a quite a good number of clients, which was I have been very grateful about that. Yes.
All right, that's good. Now, for some of us who may not necessarily understand osteopathy, whatever the name is, I might not even getting it right, but
Yes,
can
you're
you
doing good.
can you explain what it is, and the benefit, and how do people, why do people come to you, and what sort of outcome they get?
Yes. So osteopathy is the philosophy where everything is, we believe that everything, every part in the body is interconnected. And also it's a very holistic way of seeing the person. So when someone come to see me and they say, oh, Valerie, I have back pain or neck pain for a while, I really try to understand, okay, what is the cause of the symptom. And then from then, I started to take the story and understand. And once I understand, then I can provide some gentle treatment to release whatever area that needs to be released. So then they can feel better. But often, what I realize is when people come with whatever condition, neck pain, back pain, or it's often due to something else. So
Mm,
some people say, "Oh, I've got neck pain," and it may be due because they had a fight with their partner or someone. They clenched their jaw, and then it's always some story,
mm-hmm,
unless you fall off and then you break your ankle, for example. Like even that, it could be because you were stressed or something happened. So there is
mm,
always something behind it, and that's what I love about osteopathy. So then you go deeper, and once you understand, then you release the body, and then it blossom, and people are happy, and then they come back, and yes, so that's what I love about it. It's like
oh, that's
a
good.
yeah, it's like a
That,
detective.
yeah, so I was going to say there's a bit of psychology and
Yes.
investigation and detective into the whole thing, isn't it?
Absolutely. And a body whisperer as well, because when you work with the body, so then you understand what is happening in the body, and then you can really take it to the next level. And it's gentle. So that's what I love about that type of osteopathy.
And outside of any sort of trauma that people might have, which I suppose can be one of the causes of whatever they're experiencing, what are some of the things that people should watch that might lead them to have issues and then eventually see someone like yourself? So, what are some of the things that could cause some of those pains where we don't know where it's coming from, all that sort of thing? If you see what I mean.
So one of the main things that I found is it could be the posture. So when you're on the computer, sometimes you're in the office and you may be typing and you forgot you
Hmm.
into your focus into what you're doing, and then the last thing you know, your neck and your back is hunk. So that's
Yes.
hump. Yes. So that could be one of the things that very common in people.
Hmm.
It could also be the stress. As I was saying before, people they get stressed and they do not realize. And stress, we don't realize how stress can be good, but it can also
Hmm.
be detrimental for our health. So when you stress, we tend to clench the teeth, you
Hmm.
tend to shrug the shoulder, and keep all in, and then that
Hmm.
cause also a lot of tension in the body. Yes.
Okay, so posture and stress, some of the things that people need to watch,
Yes.
so that they don't eventually. I mean, I would like to send a lot more business to you, but we may want to minimize some of that. That people don't want to come to see an osteopath if they can address the issues early enough, isn't it? Okay, that was the therapeutic part of it. Let's go back to the business part of it and the experience you've had. How important? I mean, we originally met when you attended the Afropreneur Summit in Sydney. First of all, give us a little bit of your experience of the whole thing, and then we'll go to some of the issues that we're trying to address through the summit. How did you like the whole experience?
Yeah, so it was the first time, and I found that it was really, really well put together, and uh, and I think the panel was great as well. There was a lot of information, and yes, I think for a first time in Sydney, it was very good, and I have to say, I was very proud to be part of it. I'm like, wow, the community is doing something, and I'm there, and I'm talking in the panel as well. So thank you so much. Yes, there was always room for improvement,
Yeah,
but I did at the time. I was very excited. I just take the best I could from it, and I think that was important. And whatever we need to improve, we'll improve over time. So thank you.
sure. Absolutely, that's great. Now, what's your overall view about us as people of African descent and our focus entrepreneurship and economic development. What's your view on that?
I think it's important because sometimes I feel like we are. It seems like we are a bit behind, even though there is a lot of us who are doing a lot of great job in the
Hmm.
community or even in our profession, but we're not coming together to do something for together. And I think that can really help as well to discover other ethnic groups, other, because I come from Guadeloupe and
Hmm.
I was the only one there. So I think it's a good way to gather other community from the black
Yeah,
people.
well, and I
Yeah.
think then next time we got to try to find a few more from your group, because there's a lot of us from the continent, from the
Yes.
diaspora, and we all need to come together. And what's your view on the importance of networking? Because for people like us, we are a minority in the Australian
Yes.
context. When you are a minority, it means there's some sort of deficiency in terms of the social capital that you could get. If you go to school in primary school to Australia, secondary school, university, you meet a whole lot of people, you build a huge social capital, which is important for success in life. And we don't have a lot of that. We have some of it, but there is an area where we need to actually do more to be able to enlarge, expand our social networks, and that will then use that for business. What do you think about how we can sort of do this in the best way?
Yes, I think I believe in networking, and I think it's very important for us to gather more and to collaborate together. I also think that there is people as well, when they come with an intention, and sometimes
Hmm.
the intention, it can be very selfish. They only think about themselves. And I
Yeah.
think that if we do a lot of networking in the community, it will be to think about, okay, what can we? It's not just about monetary. What can we bring to each other so then we can help the community to grow and
Hmm.
for us to have a better place in the system. So I think networking is good if it's done in a way that it's can benefit everyone.
All right. And did after the summit, for example, did you get to connect with people that you met at the summit that you are perhaps now looking at some other things, so you benefited from them in one way or another?
I feel like yes, I did connect with some people, but I felt also, yeah, this is the thing that I felt coming to networking. I feel like I connect with people, but I think there's people they wanted to sell something rather
Mm.
than really connecting and try to get to know me, quite to get to know, okay, as a community, how we can grow. So that's
Hmm.
why I think that's, for me, that was a bit of okay, you're connecting with me, but you want something from me rather
Hmm.
than seeing how we can participate in something greater. So that's what I think I didn't really enjoy.
Yeah, and I think that's a mistake that many people make in looking at only the commercial aspect of networking rather than the human, the friendship, and
Yes,
the person who
yes,
can bring more to you than just one commercial transaction. So
yes,
to look at how we go from a transactional relationship into transformational relationship, a lot of that
absolutely.
is lacking, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And it's not just, it wasn't just because you asked me for, the Afro entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But it's like that for a lot of different networking that I've been to. Like, it's just part of people. They often think that they go to the networking and they want to get business, and I'm going to, if I don't get your business card, but I will go and get you to be part of whatever I'm doing. And I
Hmm.
feel like networking is really to share something, can be also deeper, to try to connect and understand each other and how we can collaborate in a better way.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, yeah, people go to networking because in their mind it's a business thing. But I think uh, what you're saying there, and I've noticed that as well in many other settings, as you said, even beyond the Afropreneur network, is just the pace to which people go to achieve their business transaction, and then neglect about the whole of the person and what they can bring. And there's that sort of aggressive sale
Mm.
kind of thing, and people don't get to learn. I mean, to know the person more, to build something
Yes,
with with,
yes,
with that
yes.
person.
And I may be naive, but I do like the human connection, and
Yeah.
I do like the authenticity of, okay, who are you? Be aside from your business,
Mm-hmm.
what do you do in your life? Like what
Mm-hmm.
you're interested in. I think that can bring so much more a strength in the relationship in your community than just, okay, let's do deal. So I really hope that we will be able to make that difference in our community. I really hope that will be great.
Yeah. All right. And talking about how we develop our businesses, because it's one thing to start a business, and it's another to grow and develop it so it makes it quite successful, and even start to kind of pull back from it, and so that you're not too much into the operations and you can be on the strategic side. What we're wanting, obviously, as part of this whole Afropreneur network, is not just to bring people from their profession to start their own business, but to be able to grow. Growing a business is also challenging in many ways, because there's competition, there's a whole lot of
Yes.
things that works. Share with us some of your own insights with regards to what you've done in your business to try to, after you've started it, to not just survive but thrive, and to the point where you are today.
Yes, so thank you for asking. So for me, from the get-go, it was very important that I give value to my customer, to my clients. So I did a
Mm-hmm.
lot of, I continue to do more professional development, and I also do a lot of not just in regards to learning more about my profession, but also about how to run a business. That was very important as well.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning, it was challenging. Like every business owner, we tend to want to do everything, so we have multiple hats, and
Mm-hmm.
I was that person. But I tended to learn how to let go of things and
Mm-hmm.
delegate better. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the challenges that I found is it was very difficult to find people that were good at what they were doing. So if I
Mm.
needed to find an accountant and someone that you can actually delegate to do something, maybe I'm not saying I'm a perfectionist, but I think I needed to have people that I could trust. And
Mm.
that was one of the challenges, that you could trust that you're doing the job that you say that you're going to do. And then, yes, so that was very, very challenging. But over time, I go over, how could I say, I overcome these challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what always helped me is the fact that I'm passionate about my work. um, People get results, and I think from that I always try also to learn the basic of everything. Like I'm not an accountant, but I was doing my bookkeeping, so I have an idea of, okay, what I know. And
Mm-hmm.
when I now get someone to help me, I have a little idea of it. Okay, what are my expectation? What I know, if you are trying to whip me off, or if you are trying to give me something of value. So I think that's very important, to also understand that there will be a lot of people out there who will be not they will not do it consciously, but they will necessarily not be good at what they do, but they will sell it in a way that you think they're good, and then you will be uh, wasting more time and energy trying to catch up on that.
Sure. And what sort of marketing strategies did you use to grow your business?
So for me, that was a lot of word of mouth. So, and I also have my website. I did a bit of Google paid ads, and yeah, and I did a lot of networking as well. But the networking, I wasn't doing it because I wanted to get clients. I was doing it because I wanted to for people to know the brand. It was more for the brand to understand that I'm here, and also to connect with people. But yeah, that's just putting myself out there.
All
Yes.
right. And what worked more out of all those tools that you used? What worked more in terms of giving you more client?
give me more clients. Definitely for me was word of mouth, because as I was saying, people get result and it's straight away. So they get results and they will talk to the friend, the family, and then they refer people. So that's my main source of marketing. But also, of course, my website, and yeah, that help as well. But definitely word of mouth for me.
Okay. All right. Let's take a little break. And when we come
Yes.
back, we'll talk more about business growth. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back with Dr. Valerie joining us all the way from Sydney, an osteopath who is, making inroads in developing her business in Sydney. Now, Dr. Valerie, what sort of advice would you give to people who are perhaps looking at going into business? They may be osteopath like you,
Yes.
or an accountant, or whatever, still working for someone, but looking at starting their own business. What advice can you share based on your own experience, how you achieved your own goals?
Yeah, so thank you for asking. So what I will say is, if you want to open your business, to go, you go for it. And of course, if you have you don't have to be good, perfect at it. You just give it a go, and then you
Hmm.
try. And there is nothing to say, okay, you try, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But that's okay. At least give it a go. And I know it's a cliche to say, believe in yourself, trust in your
Hmm.
ability, but really, it's important to do that. Even though sometimes when I don't know something, I'm just going for it, and I also learn as I do it. So I think sometimes we want to be perfect at doing something, but over the time, I learned that, okay, Valerie, you don't have to be a perfectionist. Just go there, yeah,
And do
and
it.
go for your life, and then you may that's it. Go for your life. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Now,
Yes,
one of the barriers for people to go into business is obviously finance, because you need some money to start a business, and there are different ways of raising money for business. Bootstrapping is one of them, where you kind of just save your own money until you have enough to go for it. Uh, in your case, did you get a loan, or did you just bootstrap, or what strategy did you use to go into your own business?
yes. So I will say it depends the type of business. Sometimes you don't necessarily need a lot of money to start a
Mm.
business. So for
That's right.
me, yes. So for me, when I finished uni, I did say that I worked. I said to myself, okay, I'm going to work with in a group and see how they do the business, and then I can
Mhm.
not do what is not. I understand what not to do,
Yes.
but I have to say, but over the time, for these 3 years, I had an income, so I was saving every month a bit of money on the side, because I
Yes.
knew that when I open my business, I will have some
The,
expenses,
the
uh,
overheads, yeah.
overheads. Yes, so
Yes.
I did that, and then because I did that, it really helped me, and that was good, and had a support as well of my partner. And
Yeah.
it's not always the case, but my partner was very supportive. That was very good. But I didn't want to put a load on someone else. I wanted
Yes.
really to be responsible and accountable for um, my own venture. So yes, yes. So that was
That's
that
good.
was very good. Yes,
Yeah. So, and I guess what you're saying there is that, because sometimes people think, oh, if you want to go into business, you've got to have money, and perhaps if you apply for a business loan, the bank is not going to give it to you, and
yes,
you come up with all these things in your head
yes.
that are kind of justifying you not taking the steps. But there are many ways. You just need to plan and prepare yourself well.
Exactly,
Start
exactly.
saving a little bit of money,
Yes,
and eventually, even your networking can also be a source where you can potentially bump into somebody who has the
yes.
same level of interest, and you can go with that. So I suppose, planning and preparing and having some, some good people around you does help,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Absolutely, I totally agree with that, and trust as well. Trust that you know you will be okay, and give it a go. Plus, if you have something to give, something of value, there will always be people who maybe at the beginning you may not start with a lot. I had 10 people that followed me, but 10 was enough. So I think sometimes people want to have a lot in one go. When you
Mm-hmm.
start, be grateful for what you have at the beginning, and then
Mm-hmm.
gradually you will grow, and you will see that, okay, what I give that has value and how I can grow better, and people around you, and trust, and go for it. Yeah, go for your life.
Oh, that's good. And then the other part of running a business is also obviously about how you manage the money.
Yes.
Once you have managed to get the money to start a business, the business is running,
Mhm.
some income is coming through, you have some cash flow.
Yes.
Managing that money is also important in order to
Yes.
keep you afloat. Maybe can you share some experience about how you kind of do that
Yes.
in your own experience? Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So I have to say that I'm a good saver. So
And that
yes,
that helps, doesn't it? It helps a lot.
it does help. So I do not, especially back there, I wasn't spending my money on things that was unnecessary, like
Hmm.
a lot of clothes or things like that, or
Shoes, I know the shoes
or
for
going out, or I wasn't like going ahead of myself by wearing things that were very looking good. They were looking
yes,
good, but they were looking professional, and
yeah.
so that helped me a lot. But also what I did when I learned from working in another practice that was already established is that they had a receptionist, they had a lot of over expenses.
Yes, yes.
And I said to myself, okay, how can I minimize my expenses? So
Hmm.
I wanted to take a virtual receptionist, but I said to myself, maybe at the time I was able to for people to book online, so that
Hmm.
prevented me to have a receptionist, and I save a lot
Yes,
of money from that.
yeah.
And then where I opened my practice is where it was in a 5-star hotel. They have also corporates, so it means that I don't need, when they come, it's easy, so they can go downstairs and then come upstairs, so it's make it more smoother. And yeah, so I did little things like that that really helped me. And I wasn't, as I say, I wasn't spending money on things. When I started, I had a table that wasn't going up and down. I keep it very, very minimal. So,
That's
but you don't need the big things to start. You don't need the tralala. You just need
yes.
simple.
Start simple and then grow. That's the word.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
you are
Yeah.
you are lucky, or should I say that when you say you open yours in a 5-star hotel? Not everybody can do that. How did you
Oh,
manage to get that?
well, that's the thing in life. You never know what can happen. So even though
Hmm.
it's a 5-star hotel, and I'm still there, but
Hmm.
they had corporate suites, and the corporate suite, they were not that expensive. Actually,
Oh.
it was cheaper than when I was working in that multidisciplinary practice, and I was paying a rent there.
Oh,
So
really?
to tell you, so that's it. You just go for your life, and you do your little research, and because you open your mind to it, things come to you, and then you don't even know. I'm like, okay, good. One of my clients, she said, oh, Valerie, I've got my hairdresser in that hotel, and I think he's trying to rent he wants to rent one of his office. And I went there, and then that was it. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, okay. And I didn't
that's
even know that there was an hotel that does that. So you never know what is on the corner. So go
that's
for it.
right. You have to research and also speak to people. That's the importance of good networking.
Yes.
As you talk to
Yes.
people, you have these
Yes.
conversations. You start picking up on things that
Ab-
can definitely
Absolutely.
help.
Absolutely. And I didn't know. And people come and say, oh, the Afri's on a hotel. I don't know. I didn't know there was office there. Even nowadays, they say that.
Yeah,
And when you when I said, talk to people in your networking, but also talk to people around you. You
correct.
never know. You could talk to the hairdresser. You could talk to anyone. Just say, hey, I'm doing that. I'm thinking of doing that. You never know what people can come up with. And that's it.
Absolutely. Well, that's that's definitely great. And obviously, money is part of running the business. Also, that what goes into that is, I suppose, as you're making money, also need to invest in growing your business. Some of what you bring, some of what comes in can be saved. Some needs to be invested so that
Yes.
you can potentially grow. Have anything to share in relation to that aspect of financial management?
Yes. Yes. So what I did is what I've been doing. I've been investing a lot actually on my professional development,
Yeah,
business coach,
yeah,
mentor,
yeah.
and also investing as well um, on how I can collaborate as well with other businesses,
Yes,
other. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm doing it even more. And I also try to see, okay, as an osteopath, because depending, as I was saying, of what you want to do, as an osteopath, it's a hands-on practice. So I've got, if I don't see client, I don't get paid.
hmm,
And a little story. So during COVID, because I couldn't see client at the beginning for 6 weeks, this was like a waking up, a punch on the face to say, oh my God,
yes,
Valerie, you don't work, you don't get paid. You have to do something about it. So I had to
hmm,
invest in other things that can help me to generate some income. And I'm
yeah.
still working on it, but I'm getting there.
No, definitely. That's the way. And I think you've raised a very important point there, because sometimes people forget that the very first thing actually you need to invest in is in investing in yourself as the
Absolutely.
business owner, because your business will never outgrow you. You have to go higher, and the business will follow. If you're just staying low, and then you don't get it. Sometimes we think of investment. Okay, let me buy this thing because it's gonna bring X, Y, Z, and that's all good to some
Absolutely.
extent. But the very first thing is invest in you as a business owner, in terms
Yes.
of raising your knowledge, your business acumen, your
Yes.
understanding of how things work, and collaboration, networking,
Yes.
all of that sort of thing. I see people in our communities who have even difficulty spending 120, $150 to come to the summit, but you're still doing business. How
Yes.
are you going to grow if you don't invest
Exactly.
in your own growth?
Absolutely. And plus, and if you have a business already, it means that that will be a business expenses. So
Correct.
you can always, find
Claim it
ways.
back.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's important. If you want to get into business, you have to go for it. You have to believe in yourself, but you also have to believe in the process, that you will always be okay. And if it doesn't work out, well, at least you tried.
Yeah, you're right. And you may fail once, you may fail twice.
Yes.
Third time, you may be
Mm,
successful. As John Maxwell usually says, fail forward. You fail, but you're failing forward. You keep going. Don't let
exactly.
your failure
Yeah.
to hold you, and
Yes.
that's important.
Because every time you're learning something, every time you said, okay, oh, what did I learn from there? I mean, you have
That's
to
right.
say, I'm learning from it. But if you repeat the same thing, that's something else.
Yeah, that's something
You
else.
have to.
Definitely, you got to learn. That's why when you fell forward, yeah, you pick up whatever lesson you can from that fail or failure,
Mm,
and then you use that as a wisdom now to do
yes.
better. Because
Yes.
in business, as in the rest of life, I think you were mentioning that earlier, is you need to know what to do and what not to do.
Yes.
Now you can learn what not to do because of the failure that you experienced. You can also learn that from other people who've been there and have done that, and that's where again networking comes in, because when you meet
Yes.
people, they'll tell you, "Well, I've been there, I failed. Don't do
Yes.
that. I failed," and all that gives you wisdom that helps you to move forward with your business goals, doesn't it?
Yes, yes, and plus, it's so important. I found that you said, "Okay, I'm not alone." Thinking that when you have the networking, you know that there will always be someone that is, I mean, how could I say, worse than you or has been through more than you. So
Yes.
it's you're never alone, and that's for everything in life. Sometimes we go for a situation and then we think that, oh my God, I'm alone in that, it's only happened to me, but it's not. And one more thing I should say in regards to investing, I think
Hmm.
it's important to invest in yourself. When I talk about self, in your health, because no
Yeah,
matter how much your business is doing, no matter how much you learn and you're good, but if your health is not good, without your health you cannot run your own business.
that's
that's
right.
that's number one, that's very number one priority. So take time to really nurture what you have, your body and your mind, and yes.
Absolutely. Mental health,
Yeah,
body health,
physical. Mm-hmm. Yes.
physical, all that
And family
is,
as well. Family help. Take the time to spend some time
yeah,
with your family. Like one
yes.
hour here, it's very important. Yes.
That balance, and that's what sometimes happens, because when you too much focus on your entrepreneurial endeavor, you might neglect family, you might neglect your own
Yes.
health.
Absolutely.
Emotionally, you might neglect your physical, your body health, and
Mm.
all of that at some point will come back to bite you.
Big
uh,
time.
and it could be big, and so
Yes.
you need to take care of that. You need to
The
take care of
body is saying payback.
that. The body, when you owe something to your body, you need to be sure that you will always pay for it. Even if you don't pay
Exactly. You have
today,
to
you
pay.
pay tomorrow.
Yes, you have to pay today.
Oh, no, that's very good. And as we're getting close to the end of this show today, obviously, it's a great one of the really big benefit of the Afropreneur platform, and the resources such as this, as is we be able to share the experiences that we all have, so that we build that pool of wisdom, pool of knowledge, and experiences that then we can benefit from. Because you see, when we observe other communities, whether it's the Indians lately, the Asians, the Italian,
Mm.
Greek, and all that sort of thing, what helps them to progress more is because they have over the years developed a lot of businesses. They've got a lot of experiences and wisdom, and when you connect, when you're working together collaboratively, you
Yes.
benefit from all of that. One of our biggest issues, and perhaps that's the issue we will speak for before we end the show, is collaboration in our communities. Because networking is one thing, you get to meet people, you get to expand you, but then you need to sort of leverage those connections to collaborate. And it looks like
Yes.
us people of African descent, we seem to be having trouble to collaborate. What do you agree with that, and what do you think are some of the avenues to address this?
I think I mean it's a very big conversation, right? It will be for
Yes.
another.
Yeah, that's good. We'll come back to it.
But in summary, I think we have to be kind with each other, to understand that for our background as well. So we were there was a lot of things that was put in place, so then we don't work together.
Mm,
So for me, I always referred back to that, and now we are aware of it. So how can we ensure that we change that by changing our mindset of saying, okay,
mhm.
of course, we don't have to be individual. And I think what I've noticed is people want to be, I'm the one that is on that. I'm the one who have that. Instead of saying, okay, how can I really help my community to grow better like other community? But I think we should be kind with the community, and because it takes time for this
Yes, takes
mindset
time.
to change. So but
Yes,
if step by step, people like you, people like me, people like everyone else in the Afro community and other community, they make a difference that can help us grow and see, okay, yes, we're getting there step by step. We have a very heavy background. So
yes,
let's be kind with
with
ourselves
each
and
other.
with each other, and said, okay, thank you for inviting me, and let's that's already changing.
Yes. Well, obviously, I totally agree with you. We have this baggage in our history that is full of trauma, full of
Yes.
other things that we've been
Yeah.
exposed to, that doesn't help us. So that plays a role, or I mean, that affects why we tend to have maybe less trust between each other, and which then
Mm,
affects our collaboration. There are many things, as you said. This is a totally
yes.
new topic that we can talk about maybe in one of our
Yes.
future shows. But again, at this stage, it suffice to say that it's important for us to
Yes.
collaborate to help each other, to strengthen each other through the learnings
Absolutely.
and experiences that we've gone through in our business endeavors, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think we're doing it. I'm here, you here, and you have interviewed other people from the community, and we are making the changes, and that's very important. And yeah, the mindset is changing, and that's very very important for us to grow and to also respect each other, even though we come from different background. Because I found as well that sometimes people from Africa or people from the Caribbean, they don't necessarily feel like they're black or they're African, or there's people say, I'm not
Yes.
African. I'm like, I'm African. My background is African. So I
Yes.
may have a bit different shade of black, but I'm still
Yes.
black. People, when they see me, they say, you black. So, and that's, for me, that's
Yeah.
important. That's something that we have to also to make sure that we work on, because other community don't have that. When you see an Asian, it's an Asian. So
Yes.
when it's an Indian, it's an Indian. So we have so many different shade of color. So
Blackness,
that's
if you like.
why, yes,
Yeah.
and different people, like as I was saying, because we were put to so many different places. So it's
Yes.
hard for people to connect with, I am African, or I'm this, or I'm this, or I'm that.
Yeah.
We're not this or
Yeah.
that or that. We all. That's it.
That's
That's
right.
what I
No, I
say here.
totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. I see that even with our North American
Yes.
friends. You know, the African Americans, not all of them, but a good, not a good size of them don't necessarily connect with African. They think, I'm not African. I'm not African American. But there's at least when you say you're African American, the first word that comes is
As
African, my
African,
friend.
I know what you mean. Yes,
American
absolutely.
come last. It's African that comes first.
Yeah,
So again, that because obviously
the
we've
division
yeah,
and
there is a division that has
the
been
division
for
and
many years, for centuries. Uh,
exactly over 4,000 years and
that's right.
400 years, 400 years, and I can see it from Guadeloupe. I've got Guadeloupe and Martinique. So it
Yes,
was the French they colonized this places,
yes,
and
yes,
when is it even from this two little island, there was a division that was put in place by
yes.
the colonization.
The
So then
colonizers.
people from Martinique think that they're better than Guadeloupe, and Guadeloupe think they're better, and they make it so people fighting, and we're the
Oh,
same.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and it's changing because the generation people travel and they realize that when people see you, they see you as black. They don't care
that's
where you
right.
come from. So
Yes.
yeah, so that's why I'm like, we have to be gentle and gradually improve into where we are really come from. So
All right.
yeah, so there you go.
Absolutely. We got to work on that. And I want to thank you, Dr. Valerie, for your time
Pleasure.
to this show and for agreeing to share with us some of your own experiences. And I'm really blessed to have had the opportunity to meet with you through the Afropreneur Summit. And we continue to have this connection. And we are all passionate about how we can make a difference in our communities in the area of entrepreneurship and other areas because the
Absolutely.
best thing is that when you're in business you can make money, but if you can also have a positive impact in the community, that's the
Yes.
best, and that's what we all want to do. I don't know if you have a final word, a final message before we wrap it all up.
Yes, my final message would be, let's get all together and just build something that is very strong. So us two, we can have a community that support each other. We can grow and then think about the generation after us. That's very important.
Okay, that is indeed a great message. Let us all work together to build
Yes.
something for not just for us, but for future generations. Dr. Valerie Johnston-Dugamin,
Together.
thank you very much
Pleasure.
for coming to this show, and we will continue to. We'll try to find another opportunity where we talk more about collaboration, all this division, Martinique and
Yes,
Guadeloupe.
yes, absolutely.
We'll have a chat about that next time. So we would like to let you go now. We know you
Thank
are
you.
in business, so you got things to do. We
Yes.
appreciate your time. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Clyde. Thank you again for the great work that you do. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Yes, how was it?
That was good.
Yes?